UFO Reporting Center?
Who can I talk to about this?
You're speaking to the man.
I suppose you won't believe me either, will you?
Well, no, that's what they all say. But that's what we're here for.
Well, does it matter how long ago it happened or what?
Not really.
Not really? Okay, this has been bothering us, me and my friend, for, Christ, about a year and a half, almost 2 years. Okay, you're in Seattle, right?
Right.
Okay, about a year and a half, 2 years ago, there was something out at Pyramid Lake. See, me and my friend was out there, you know, and we was driving, and then we took this road to the right, you know, going to these cliffs, you know.
Yes.
And we stopped up there and parked, you know, went to the bathroom, and it come down like a falling star, you know, just like a shooting star, come down real fast, you know, bright star. Then it stopped, but it was still bright, and it kept getting brighter, and it started turning different colors, you know, like a ball, you know, purple and green and all this shit, and it come right over the top of us, you know, and I checked the time, you know, and it was 11 o'clock, almost exactly 11 o'clock, and then I found myself scrunched down in the seat of the car, and when I woke up, it was 2 o'clock, and a friend of mine said, stick a compass at the back of the car, and it'll, if radiation was there or something, it'll go haywire, the compass. And so I did it, and just, you know, just went spinning all, you know, shit like that.
Right.
And it's been bugging us for a long time, and
How many were involved?
2.
Okay, do you remember the date on that?
Oh, crap. Hold on. What was the date? Was it? I don't know. It was around in August sometime, or June or August.
1976, 75?
75 or 74, one of the two. But then the next day in the Reno papers, it said UFO seen over Sparks.
Uh-huh.
That's what it said. But the thing is that we lost 2 hours, and we wasn't drinking or nothing. It was just like a flash, you know, and 2 hours was gone by like that, like nothing.
You were both?
In the car. It was a Corvair. It was a convertible.
Okay, now you were both, what I mean is you both finally came to later, you were both there through this whole thing.
Yes.
Uh-huh.
But it was like, it come down like a shooting star, and it stopped, and it started flashing these green, you know, this green and purple and orange and yellow colors, you know.
Right.
And it was right over the top of the car. And I'm sitting here, oh, shit, I was scared to death, man. I was down at the bottom of the car as far as I could get, you know, inside. And we locked up the car, you know, and everything. But when we woke up, the doors was unlocked. And it was 2 hours later. And shit, this has been about a year and a half, 2 years ago, and it's really been bothering me.
Okay, what prompted you to report it now?
Huh? I don't know, something just hit me. I don't know what it was, but it just hit me. Report this, you know, something's funny here, you know, something like, I don't know what the hell it was, but it's really freaky. I don't know what the hell to say.
What physical characteristics or problems did you have after this?
We each got a rash, kinda. You know, bumps and stuff on our arms.
Uh-huh.
You know, it's, was that a rash, kind of bumpy? Wasn't like, you know, it's like goosebumps. You know, like goosebumps when you get cold, you know, those bumps, you know? It's like, but it stayed, you know, and it was real bumpy on our arms and stuff afterwards. Like that.
Okay.
And it was the freakiest thing I've ever seen in my life. I couldn't believe it. You know, this is 30 miles out of town, you know, at Pyramid Lake.
Pyramid Lake?
Yeah. And the next day in the paper it said UFO seen over Sparks, you know.
Uh-huh.
And the thing, when we started leaving, you know, afterwards, after we woke up, it was going alongside of the mountains. A great big bright thing, you know. We thought it was a helicopter or something, you know, afterwards, because when we woke up, we thought, oh, it was a helicopter or airplane, you know, but it wasn't. because it was dodging the mountains and going right over them, you know, real fast, like. It's really weird.
Okay, now what time did you wake up on that?
About 1:30, 2 o'clock, something like that. And we seen it at about 11.
Okay. Would you be willing to talk to an investigator on this?
Yes, I would.
Okay. Have you any knowledge of the subject of UFOs?
The what?
Do you have any knowledge of the subject of UFOs?
Just that they supposed to come from outer space. That's about it. I don't have anything else to say about it. I don't know anything about it.
Yeah.
I see movies, but I guess that ain't too realistic.
Okay, where did you get our number?
Huh?
Where did you get our number?
First, it's a long story. I called the Atmosphere and Planetarium here in Reno. Then they gave me the Reno Airport. The Reno Airport gave me somewhere else. And the operator gave me Seattle, Washington. So then I called there, and I guess I got you.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Okay, well, we'll see if we can't follow up on this thing.
I suppose they're all a bunch of hoaxes, huh?
Well, it all depends.
But, you know, it was the funniest thing. It was 11 o'clock, and then it was like nothing ever happened, and we woke up at 2 o'clock, or 1:30, 2 o'clock, or something around there, and it was just like it was before, just like nothing ever happened. But they stayed there, like, and they dried out, like, it was really funny.
How long did that last?
Oh, about 2 weeks. It was, I don't know, it was just kind of funny, you know. We seen that, and then we got, after, you know, it was like, we just went to sleep, and we woke up. That's what, you know, that's what it was like. Then we woke up, and we took off real fast, you know. And this great big bright light was falling over the mountains, you know. And we was driving down the road, you know. And, but, you know, on the way out there, we lost the road we were supposed to take. It was so funny. He was sure he was on the right road, but then it went to some other road or something. I don't know what it was. But it was just tripped out. I couldn't believe it. But it was funny as hell. And we didn't know where in the hell we was at. And we never had nothing to drink at all either. Yeah, believe me, we got something to drink afterwards, though. I'll tell you that. Jesus.
How many other people have you told this story to?
About 2, but they laughed and said, oh, yeah, you was drinking and drunk and all this stuff. We told them, no, we had nothing to drink, you know, and they go, oh, yeah, sure, and all this shit. You know, they just laugh about it. I think it's so funny, you know. I think it's make-believe in our dreams. But, you know, we both had the same dream, of course, you know.
How often have you dreamt about it?
How long?
How often?
About 6 times since then. I've dreamed about you know, I've seen that movie too about that a woman, that man getting taken by the flames. I've seen that once, you know, but I've never dreamt nothing about that. But I've dreamed about like in the car there, you know, on the desert. It was in the desert, you know, and the thing was, it was stopped over the top of us. It was just standing in midair, you know, and they come down and they opened the door. And but our doors was locked. But they opened the door, and I don't know how they could have, because it was locked. I don't know. It was just, it just freaked out or something. I don't know. But I never had nothing to drink or anything. You know, I'm not one of those heads that smokes dope either.
Right.
Right. No, but seriously, I couldn't believe this. But it's been bothering me for a long, long time. It has really been bothering me. I dream about one night. I dreamt about somebody showing, like on that movie about a map, you know. But except I seen in my dream about the planets and where they was, you know, and all this stuff. And I dreamt I knew right where it was at, and then I woke up and I couldn't find it, you know. like on one of our maps, or star maps or something, you know. In our dreams, I knew right where they was living at, but then I couldn't find it when I was woke up. I guess just unconsciously I could find it or something. I don't know. It was, I don't know. It was, oh, I don't know. Christ.
Okay, what do you want us to do about it?
I don't really know. I just wanted to tell you about it. Christ, it's so weird.
You want to get yourself hypnotized?
Do I?
You want to be hypnotized?
I've never been hypnotized. Huh?
Well, that's one way of bringing out all the facts, find out what happened.
You think that'll work?
Well, it's worked for others.
I don't know anything that'll bring it out, because it's bothering me. It keeps coming in my head for some reason. I keep seeing me holding the compass against the back end of the car, you know, and it's spinning, you know, like wild, you know.
Right.
Really spinning and stuff. I don't know. It just, I don't know. I don't know, it's just something else. I can't believe it myself. And one time, I was in the backyard all by myself one night, about 3 o'clock in the morning, and I seen this thing shoot up in the sky, really super fast. It looked like a banana, going straight up, you know, in the air. Christ. But then I figured out, you know, because I've been reading these books about it, if you would have turned it on its flat side, it would have been like a flying saucer. It looked like a chicken brooder. That's what it looks like. That's what one looked like that we seen that night. When it was hovering over the top of us,
yeah.
It looked like a chicken brooder, kind of. Those three little things on the bottom of it.
Oh, yeah.
I couldn't believe it. It was just something else. It wasn't that big, though. It was kind of small. It was really kind of small.
Okay. Well, I got all the information.
Yeah.
You want somebody to come down there and talk to you?
Do you?
Well, it's up to you.
Do you think it's worth it?
Well, if you've had an experience, I think it's worth digging into it and find out what happened.
Yes, I have had, and I do think it's worth digging into. I'd like to get it out, because sometimes I can't sleep. I dream about it, and it's really weird. It is really weird.
Well, do you want me to refer somebody to you to talk to?
Yes, I would like that.
Okay, we'll do that.
You think they'll come down and see me or something, or what?
Oh, I'm sure that they'll get in contact with you.
Well, I hope to. Do you have my address? Do you have my address? Okay.
Okay, I'll notify one of the people and they'll contact you.
Okay.
All right.
Okay, thanks a lot.
Thank you for calling.
Okay, bye-bye.
Bye. UFO Reporting Center?
Yes, I was coming back from Dallas, Texas to Tyler, Texas, and I was on Highway 64.
Yes.
And a UFO passed over my car.
Okay, would you like to describe it?
I sure would. It was a triangle shape, and it had a white light on the front on one side of the triangle,
Uh-huh.
and it had a blue light and a red light on either side. And my wife and I were driving along, and we saw it. You know, it's like up in the sky, just hovering, about 100 feet up, and we kept driving toward it. You know, we thought it was some sort of plane or something, because the red light's blinking and the white light just stays on all the time.
Right.
And the closer we got to it, it just stayed there, you know, and then finally I slowed down my truck, and I looked out the window, and I unrolled my window and looked out, and it passed right over us, and it had a hole in the center of it. It's almost like it's transparent in the center. You can almost see through it.
Yes.
I went straight home to Tyler, and I got my brother and another friend, and we went back out there, and we saw it again.
Okay, now, do you have any estimate on the size of this thing?
Well, that's hard to say. You know, first time I saw it, I thought it was real small.
Uh-huh.
The second time, it looked like it could be anywhere from 10 feet to maybe 15.
Okay, was this object hovering over the roadway?
Yes, and there were no other cars around, you know, when it came over us, both times. Because I wanted to stop, because I've been looking for one, all my life.
Uh-huh.
And, but I couldn't, you know. I slowed down, and I just got scared, and we left.
Okay, now can you give me an estimate on the altitude of that object?
It looked to be maybe 150 feet.
Okay, did you hear any sound?
There's not one sound at all.
Okay. Do you travel this roadway quite often?
Well, not often. We just moved up to Tyler.
Oh, I see, okay. Is it unusual for lack of traffic on the highway?
Well, it seemed it would be. It's kind of a country road.
Uh-huh.
And the thing is, it waits until it gets you isolated in the road where there's no other cars, and then it comes out. The second time, we went out there and didn't see it, and we turned around and came back in, and it kind of came over the trees, you know, real low. It looked like a plane taking off.
Uh-huh.
And it took off and went across the highway in front of us, and I said, that's it. And I pointed it out to him, and it stopped on the left-hand side of the road, and it came back directly in the middle of the road and just hovered over us. And we slowed down, and it passed right over us again. And then, this time, we went by it and we stopped, and two of us got out. You know, I tried to look at it, but it just kept going, you know, as it passed over.
Did it just go out of sight?
Hello? And we turned around and chased it and flashed on our lights, you know, trying to stop it.
Yes.
But then it just did.
It is now the end of the initial period. Please take no further time.
Okay. Then it stayed ahead of us, and it just took off.
Okay. What time did you first spot that?
Must be about 2 hours ago.
Okay. And how many witnesses on that?
We've got my wife and my brother and another guy. There's 3 witnesses besides me.
Okay. Does your brother have a phone?
No, we're living in the same house right now.
Oh, okay. And this is in Tyler.
Yeah. Where are you located?
We're in Washington.
Oh. Well, I called the sheriff, and he gave me this number. I didn't know
great.
where I was calling.
This thing startled you quite badly, did it?
Yeah, it did.
Uh-huh.
You know, and I've been looking for him, you know. And down here right now, the sky is perfectly clear. It's a beautiful night, you know.
Okay.
It was just a perfectly clear night. And
okay, which direction was this going when you finally watched it leave?
it was heading back toward Dallas, so that would be a west.
Okay.
West, but it looks like to me that it's out there right now. I mean, it's going up and down the road.
Uh-huh.
And it's passed over cars. It won't.
Was the second time you saw it, was it just as low?
Yeah.
Okay.
Just as low. About 150 feet.
Okay. What highway were you driving at the time?
That's Highway 64.
Okay.
It was about 12 to 15 miles outside of Tyler, Texas, headed toward Canton, Texas.
Okay. All right, sir, would you talk to a representative if we could get one in there?
Yeah, I sure would. And, I don't know. I mean, we're thinking about going back out there tonight
Uh-huh.
and taking pictures.
There's a good idea.
If I can find a camera. But, you know, nobody around here is interested. I can't, you know, I talked to a guy at an airport here, and, you know, he just hung up on me.
Uh-huh.
But, you know, can't get anybody else to go out there with us.
Okay, we sure appreciate this call, and we'll see if we can't get somebody in there to talk to you, and if we come up with any more information on it, why, we'll get back to you and let you know.
All right, thanks a lot.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Where are you? I called the police in Fort Worth, Texas. Now, they gave me this number to call.
Yes, we're in Washington.
We just experienced the most peculiar sighting, and I've called the police to see, you know, if they had any calls.
Yes, I'd like to hear about it.
Well, I couldn't sleep, and I was just sitting here watching TV, and all of a sudden everything just got haywire on the television.
Uh-huh.
And our west window faces right the couch where I was sitting, and the whole, all of a sudden, the whole window pane became illuminated with just a brilliant orange, you know, and I thought, gee, that moon's bright, you know, and it just the screen kept rolling, and then the sound disappeared from the television and the whole thing, and I kept thinking, well, they'll get that straightened out on TV, you know, and then I just kept becoming so aware of this brilliance of this. It was really very, very orange. So I thought, well, this must be what you call a harvest moon. So I got up and I looked through the drapes, and I noticed kind of an aqua green rim at the very bottom, then a red rim, and then this brilliant orange, and then kind of a flat look. And so I, started to awaken my husband. I thought, no, this is ridiculous. This is the moon, you know.
Uh-huh.
And then I kept looking at it, and it was flat on top, you know, just kind of like a cloud kind of hanging right over the top of it. So I opened the door, and it's very cold tonight right here, and I stepped outside, and I thought, well, that's unreal, because now it can't be that I'm looking through maybe a dirty pane on a window or something, because I'm very definitely seeing kind of a turquoise or a light blue at the bottom, then definite red rim in the middle, and this brilliant orange again. And I mean, it's it's kind of a burst, but yet a little bit brighter. So I finally went in and got my husband, and by this time it's down below almost the house across the street from us, and I thought, golly, that moon's sinking fast.
Could you hold for one moment, please?
Yes. So anyway, I said, honey, you're going to think I'm crazy. Would you mind getting dressed? Because slipping on your robe and house shoes, because I don't want to walk out in the street by myself at this time of night, because it's 2 o'clock here in the morning.
Right.
And he said yes, he would. And when he saw it, it was now almost below the house, you know, the house level across the street from us, the roof line.
Right.
So we had to walk further out in the street, and he caught, you know, a whole glimpse of it and everything, and then he said, well, that's flat on top. And he said, yes, he could, you know, I said, what do you see? And he said, I see a little, looks like kind of turquoise, and then a red, and then this green orange. And then within 30 seconds, there wasn't anything there. It was just gone to the west and disappeared completely away from the horizon. Completely. Moons don't go that fast.
No, ma'am.
It was unbelievable. I'm just so mad that I didn't awaken him when I first saw the whole thing in the window, in the top of our living room window, because I thought, gee, that moon is so brilliant, I can't believe it.
Okay, now, did you hear any sound?
I wouldn't be aware, except we didn't have any sound on our television.
Right.
It just got the funniest, there wasn't any sound on the television, and yet it didn't start a roll pattern exactly. It didn't start a horizontal pattern. It was more kind of a zigzag, I don't know, kind of, I don't know how to describe it.
Okay, now do you...
It's kind of like this ba-ba-ba-boom sort of, marks when they're doing this.
Yes.
You know, it's kind of like a dagger sort of thing.
Right. Okay, now, do you have any estimate as to how close that was to you?
It was right over my neighbor's roof. I mean, it was just like it was just laying there, and this is what but now see, how could it move that quickly?
Uh-huh.
I mean, there it was, and I stood there and I guess watched it through the window probably, 3 or 4 minutes, and I kept thinking, gee, the moon is moving. Once I became aware of it, our whole living room just took on a peculiar aura, and this is when the television started. I think that's what made me aware, because I looked away from the television because it was making me so dizzy, watching it.
Right.
So then I became aware of the living room looking lit up.
Okay, could you give us an estimate of how big you think this thing was?
Oh, my gosh.
Or could you compare it with something?
I'd say it was... No, I couldn't, because I thought it was the moon.
Uh-huh.
And I thought how low that moon is. I've never seen anything, as low. And it looked like it was just laying on the top of the roof, of somebody's house, which it wouldn't be. But
right.
I don't mean laying. I mean in almost a circular. It was I would say cylindrical circle with the tip like it was laying on the roof, which it was not. It was an optical illusion, I'm sure, of that. But then when I noticed the kind of flatness on the top, that's when I decided to step outside to see if there was a cloud, that was covering part of the moon.
Right.
And then I thought of looking at the calendar to see if we were going through a quarter moon or whatever, you know. And then I thought, well, no, I'm going to call my husband. And now he said, gee, I wish you'd called me sooner, because by the time he saw it, and then we couldn't believe how fast it was gone completely from the horizon. So he saw it at about half the size that I saw it, and then it just was gone, you know.
Right.
So he's standing here, too, with his mouth open, saying, I don't know what we really saw, but a moon doesn't move like that, you know.
Right. What time did you spot that?
Well, it was about, I guess, 1:30.
Okay.
Was when I first, you know, became aware of the glow in the living room.
Okay, when you were outdoors, did you hear any dogs barking or any...
No, it was exceedingly quiet.
Real quiet, okay.
Mm-hmm.
Did you have any problem with the house lighting?
I don't have any lights on in the house.
Oh, okay.
It's just the television that just became exceedingly erratic. I'm still shaking. Isn't that awful? Sorry to have bothered you, but I've just never seen anything like that.
Well, we're sure glad that you called.
It was, like I said, I called the police because I kept thinking, well, you know, the television, that maybe they'd say something if the moon were extra bright or something like this, but they didn't. And when I called the police, they said no, they hadn't had any reportings, but they then were gone quite a while and came back and said, I think you better call this number.
Okay.
So they gave me your number.
Okay, if we come up with any answers regarding this, why, we'll get back to you and let you know.
I sure wish you would, because I find it extremely, you know, it disappeared so quickly. I still can't believe that anything could have moved away that quickly.
Okay, if we could get a representative to into your area, would you discuss the matter with them?
Oh, I'd be delighted to.
Great.
And I don't mean for news reaction. I just mean I've never seen anything like that in my life. And I'm not a believer. I'm not a disbeliever, but I've heard of people saying they see things, and I have never seen anything that lit up our room like this did. And just made me... I can say one thing, which sounds very peculiar. I was standing there watching it, and I was extremely tranquil. Just, you know, mesmerized,
yes,
more or less, when I walked out on the porch.
Did you have a feeling you were being watched?
I don't think so.
Uh-huh.
No, I wouldn't say that at all. I was just, I just felt very quiet inside.
Yes.
You know, just, it was, I don't know how to describe it. It was just a very tranquil sort of feeling.
Right.
I stood there and felt it, you know, looking at it, and I was on the porch, and then as it started disappearing so quickly, that's when I came back in and got my husband to come out and walk out in the street to see if a moon could be disappearing as rapidly as that was disappearing. And this is when, you know, we had to keep walking on down the street because it was moving so rapidly that, and then when it went, it just went. I mean, it was just unbelievable.
Well, we thank you again. If we come up with anything on it, we'll get back to you and let you know.
I wish you would. I'd like to know.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you very much. I enjoyed talking with you.
Bye-bye. UFO Reporting Center?
Yes, this is the Pershing County Sheriff's Department in Lovelock, Nevada.
Yes, sir.
We had a report of a UFO that was in the area of Emily, Nevada.
Okay.
And it was reported to have hovered over the highway at about 500 feet for 10 to 12 minutes, then went over into a mountain range and exploded. People, we have one person that has stopped and we'll give a witness report, and we have about 4 or 5 other people that were talking about it on the CV and several phone calls to this effect. They said they did see debris falling.
Okay, do you have the party's name?
No, we do not. NHP is handling the party. They are in Winnemucca. They are quite a ways away from us, so we couldn't get the statement from them.
Okay. Do they have an officer we could contact?
I do not know his name, but you might be able to get it from Elko NHP.
Okay.
He should be handling it in Winnemucca.
All right, sir. We sure appreciate the tip.
Uh-huh.
Thank you very much.
Right.
Bye.
Bye.
Patrol, may I help you?
Yes, ma'am. This is the UFO Reporting Center in Washington.
Mm-hmm.
We understand that you have had something seen or seen to explode in the sky down your way.
Yeah.
Could you give us any information on that?
Okay, hold on. Here for it. Well, most of the reports came to our trooper on CB. He was in the Winnemucca area. It's supposed to be about, let's see, 29 miles west of Winnemucca, Nevada.
Uh-huh.
And it went towards the Star Peak Range, which is south of Interstate 80. The highway patrolman and the MLA deputy rolled out that way and hasn't seen anything, but he does have witnesses, and he's going to take statements from the truck drivers that seen it, but they haven't found anything. All his report said was that there was an object. 3233. Hovering over the interstate about 500 feet, and then it zipped off towards the south and seemed to explode in the sky. He didn't see it himself.
I see.
These were just the reports given to him on CB radio.
I see. Okay. Now, is he operating out of your office?
Yes,
When will he be in? Do you have any idea?
Hold on. 7229, Uncle.
7229, about 10 miles south on the Indian Hill Road.
What's your ETA back to the station?
7188. Should be there 30 to 45.
7188. He should be back into town in about 30 or 45 minutes. Who should I have him call?
The UFO Reporting Center?
Could you hold the line just a minute?
Yes.
7256.
Arnold Ranch, the Green Ford pickup, North Dakota, 171-869. 171-869.
Okay, Mr. Gribble, as soon as he comes in, I'll have him online you, okay?
Thank you very much.
Bye-bye.
Bye. UFO Reporting Center, good evening.
Yes, this is House from Highway Patrol.
Oh, yes, sir.
Nevada.
Right.
Supposed to return your calls. Is this Mr. Gribble?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Okay, we're interested in what happened down there tonight.
Well, I'll let you know what I have so far. I got a citizen's band report from several truck drivers, and I was talking with one specifically. And this incident occurred, I haven't been able to pinpoint it exactly, in the general area. But supposedly several truck drivers going both east and west observed a bright light hovering above the freeway, approximately, the guy told me about 500 feet.
Okay.
And this bright light was stationary for, approximately 10 to 15 seconds. And then it took off horizontally toward the mountain range, ascended above the mountain range, and then exploded. The gentleman told me he's been in the military, familiar with flares, aircraft, helicopters, and things of that nature. He says it was nothing like that. He couldn't see the object because of the intensity of the light, but he didn't know what it was.
Uh-huh.
And when I got the call, I had just come back from lunch, or just come on the air from lunch, and he was hollering like a Ubangi to some base station here in Winnemucca. And by the time I could get in, he had already gone through town, and I talked to him as long as I could, and then was relaying from the base station back and forth. And of course, I went right out to the area and was talking to other people all the way out who witnessed some of them had witnessed the aircraft or whatever it was going toward the mountain, and then the explosion. Some of them did witness just the explosion itself.
Did this man give any estimate as to the altitude that this thing was hovering off of the highway?
He said approximately 500 feet.
Okay.
Now, I've contacted Fallon Naval Air Station in Nevada here. They've reported no aircraft in the area, no aircraft overdue, and we contacted Mountain Home Air Force Base. They have a flight pattern which crosses the area where this sighting was. They have low-flying aircraft in this area at all times, both day and night.
Yes.
And they reported no overdue aircraft at all.
Okay. Did you get the names of any witnesses?
I've got two witness statements here. I've got a witness statement from a truck driver who just witnessed the flash. Now, I jotted it down for him. He signed it. I'll read you what he says here.
Okay.
On 11/30/76 at approximately 6:50 p.m. Oh, wait, excuse me, I got the wrong statement there. Okay, here we go. On 09/30/76 at approximately 7 o'clock p.m. I was eastbound out of Lovelock, Nevada. Approximately 1 mile south to southeast of Star Peak. Observed a bright flash of light that lit up the whole top of the mountain. The first flash was followed by two more flashes of the same intensity. As soon as I was in radio range, I contacted Highway Patrol. Now, he said they weren't three separate flashes. It was like one big giant flash. It kind of died down, and then two more. I also obtained a statement from a resident here in Winnemucca who said at approximately 6:50 p.m., a low-flying jet aircraft passed close to his home here in Winnemucca when his direction of travel would have taken him close to this UFO sighting, if that's of any help.
Okay.
Now, the driver that did witness this UFO hovering over the freeway, taking off and exploding, I got the company he works for and a CB handle. He advised me and the Winnemucca base station that was relaying for us that he would be back through Winnemucca sometime next week. He would contact this office and give a complete statement.
Okay, beautiful. Now, is there any chance of our getting hold of a copy of those statements?
Yes, I'll have them here at the office. I can mail them to you or however you'd like. Now, the one question I'd like to ask you is, anyone going to come down and check this out or what, since the military won't own up to any missing aircraft? The sheriff's office in Lovelock is supposedly going to mount a search in the morning and check for aircraft, probably an aerial search, I assume, because it's a pretty rugged mountain there.
Well, right now, of course, as far as inspection or investigation is concerned, we're kind of up in the air until we find out if anything actually hit the mountain. And, of course, we would have to wait and see what the other agencies picked up on that.
Well, what I might suggest is tomorrow afternoon you contact Pershing County Sheriff's Office in Lovelock, Nevada, and they might be able to furnish you with some results of their search or whatever.
They're going to handle that then.
Yeah, according to the deputy I talked to down there, they would probably be going out, or I don't know for sure. You might double check. These small agencies are notorious for shelving things.
Right. Okay. Well, we sure appreciate this information.
Okay.
And if we come up with anything regarding this identification, why, we'll get back to you and let you know.
Okay, sure appreciate it.
Well, we sure thank you for the cooperation.
Okay. And I'll get these two statements I have mailed out to you right away. And when I'm in contact with the other gentleman, obtain his statement, I'll mail that out to you.
Thank you very much.
Okay.
All right, have a good evening.
You bet. Bye.
Bye.
Yes, the local police department gave me this number to call about UFO sightings.
Fine.
And I was wondering if you got any reports about any sightings over the Alamogordo, New Mexico area.
No, sir. Did you see something?
Okay, I'd like to make an official report then.
Very good.
Okay, last night, I and several other persons and a few other people were in the Alamogordo area, and we did see these unusual lights, I guess you'd call them, in the sky. And they couldn't have been airplane lights, no warning flashing lights, nothing, just two bright, solid lights. One of them came down close to the ground. The other one went over the city and over by the mountains and stayed there for a while and left. I've been trying to file reports with the police and the Holloman Air Force Base and everybody I can around here. Nobody, they're all turning me off. They're all skeptical about it. I just can't file a report. I tried to last night. They kind of shut me out, too. And several other people, including myself, did make this sighting. And there are balloon reports in the area this morning, but they didn't have any last night.
Yes.
And no clouds in the sky. We've had clear weather. I've checked with all the local radio stations and everything. It's been good weather. And what more can I say?
Okay, now, these lights, what color were they?
Okay, they were bright, very bright white with a blue hue to them.
Okay. Now, did they move in any particular flight path?
Yes. When they were over the city, one of them did drop down low, out of sight. The other one stayed up above it for a little while, then came right over the top of us. There was no sound, no engine noise, nothing. We thought maybe it was the emergency helicopters here in the city, but when it came over, there was no engine noise, and there were no trailers, no warning lights, no nothing on this thing. It just went right over, and it stayed over the mountain for, I guess, about 5-6 minutes, and this other one never did come back when it went down low. It stayed there for a while. It blinked a couple of times. It was gone. That's about it.
Okay, did they have any particular shape?
No, it was just the bright light, that's all there was to it.
Okay. When that object came overhead, directly over you, did it pause or slow down at all?
No, it was over the city, and it stayed there. It was to the south of the city, and it hovered there, or it stayed there for a few moments when the other one dropped down. And then the other one proceeded northerly until it did get over our mountains. I guess it's about a 7-mile trek across the city there.
Okay. Any estimate of size on these? Can you compare them with anything?
Hard to tell. They were pretty low. First thoughts were an airplane. They could have been around the same size as an aeroplane, but it was hard to tell. Like I said, it was just that bright light. It's hard to tell, like distance and all.
Right. Okay.
Brightness of the light.
And the one that was over the mountain, did you watch that leave after it hovered there for a while?
Well, like I said, we sat and watched it. It stayed there for a while, and we were trying to find out where it was going to go or what it was up to or anything. Like I said, it stayed there right above the mountain, blinked a couple of times, and the light went out or something.
Okay.
It didn't reappear.
And how many witnesses were there?
Okay, in my party alone, there was 2 of us. There was me and my date last night. And while I was there was another man I drove up in an automobile, and we talked about it for a while and looked at it, and it was, we talked about it, whatever. But anyway, it was a busy street there in Alamogordo, and there were several other cars parked along the street there with people outside of the car looking, too.
Okay.
And after I saw this thing last night, I got on my CB radio, and first thing I did was I tried to get hold of a local boy there, and I had someone on there. He said he was local, and I told him about the incident, and he says we're checking into it, that's all. And then all this morning I've been trying to check with the department. They haven't told me anything. They haven't even said they even got a report.
Okay. Get on this thing, and if in our investigation, if we come up with any answers, we'll get back to you and let you know.
Okay, I'll tell you what. I work at a radio station. I'm trying real hard to get a story or something out on it here, and you can call anyone down here, and they'll be more than happy to take the information.
Okay, will do.
Thank you much.
You bet.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
I live in Fort Worth, Texas.
Yes.
And I would like to ask if there was an extremely now, brilliant, bright orange moon Friday morning between 4 and 4:30. It was so glowing around it. It was across the street from my house when I looked out the window. I've never seen the moon that brilliant or that large, and that orange with that brilliance around it.
Are you talking about a full moon?
Well, yes, but I've been looking at the moon before and after that day, and I have never seen the moon.
No, there's no full moon.
Ever look like that?
No. Did you see this in your area?
Yes, I did. It was right across the street from me.
Okay.
I guess you would say hanging. above my neighbor's house. I can't imagine the size of it. I know that I can put my arms up and make it look huge, but no telling how big it would have been in the sky. I just know that it was big.
This was like a full moon? Round?
Just extremely brilliant.
Okay.
And I watched, to begin with, while I watched it, we have a dog, and she barked. And I assumed that she had woke me up, and I assumed that she had heard a cat, and I let her out our back door. And while I was waiting for her to come back in, I walked through our den, and I noticed the light coming in through my front window.
Yes.
And I went to the door, and I thought, my goodness, I've never seen the moon so bright. So I went into my living room and pulled my drapes, and I was just amazed at the brilliance of this color and all. And so I stood and I watched it. And my eyes started to bother me. And so I left the room. I thought, well, maybe it's just so bright, and I shouldn't be staring at it. And so I went into the other room, and when I came back, it was still there, but it had started to move. And it had moved further into the west. And I guess it would be about the size of what I would say, what I call a regular moon, which is small. It was red, just at the top. And then as it started to move between the houses, I went outside and I got up on top of the bumper part of our car, and I watched it because it looked like it had taken an uneven shape from the top, like it was dark. And I looked down to the ground because I was afraid I might lose my balance. And when I looked up, it was gone.
Okay. Now you say this was right across the street?
Yes.
Hovering over the house?
Yes. I mean, it wasn't just right on top of it,
right.
But, I mean, it was over it because it was just right in front of my front window, right above the house across the street.
Any estimate on how far off of the roof?
Oh, goodness. We live up on a hill, and it's kind of hard to, the houses across the street are higher than my house.
Oh, I see.
I would say 4 or 5 feet, maybe more.
Okay.
But it was probably more, but I would say at least that much.
Okay, now while you were watching this, did the color and brightness remain about the same as it was hovering over the house?
Yes, until the brilliance around the object changed.
Uh-huh.
And when I looked out, as I was in the house and started to go through, we live right off of I-20, and we have an overpass, and the trucks go back and forth, make a strange sound when they go over the bridge.
Right.
I heard that. Yet when I went to the window and looked out, there was no sound. I couldn't hear anything. I was just taken by this, by the glowing of it, the brilliance and the size of it all. It was just so terribly, terribly quiet. And I looked up and down our street because it was so bright. We do have a few homes with gas lanterns, out in their front yards. And I thought, well, maybe it's between them and the moon that makes this look so brilliant. But when when my eyes started to kind of burn and I started to have a headache, is when I left and went into the other room because I thought, well, maybe I shouldn't be staring at it like this with the naked eye. And when I came back, the glowing around it was not as bright, and it just dimmed away, and then it seemed like the outside came back into perspective, like just regular night, regular lights from the neon signs that are up, and house lights and what have you.
But at this brightness there was a glow from the object, did that block all of that out while you were looking at it? In other words, was it so bright that these other lighted fixtures and so forth could not be seen?
Well, I didn't notice them.
Okay.
I know they're there because I see them every day, but I guess I was so amazed at it. It's so hard to explain it because it was as if they didn't exist to a certain extent because I was not concentrating, on anything else. I was just so amazed by the size and all of what I thought was the moon.
Now, would you say that this object in diameter was bigger than the house itself? Did it seem to overlap the sides of the house?
Well, it seemed to cover. I wouldn't say that it overlapped the whole house, but I would say it took probably the whole middle section of it.
Okay.
I mean, it was that big around.
And this was Friday morning?
Yes, because when I got up, when our dog barked, I looked at a clock. I have a big clock on my wall, and it said 4 o'clock. When after I came back into the house after it was gone, I looked at the clock again because I had to look at it as I come into the house. It said 4:30. Okay. And then I heard our dog scratching to be let back in.
Okay. Did you hear any other dogs barking outdoors?
No, and we have many, many dogs on our area. No, I just heard our one. The only thing that I think that unless she didn't hear a cat was that she was sleeping in the front bedroom on our son's bed, and either the bright light, she may have thought it was a car coming through the window, she may have thought it was a car, and she barked.
Uh-huh.
But she only barked one time.
Okay. And this whole event took about 30 minutes?
Yes, sir.
From 4 to 4:30, okay.
Yes. And when it went away, it was, I don't know, it seemed like it just got smaller, like it was kind of lopsided on top. I don't know if that was the night, if it was going away, getting smaller, or what it was. It would just seem like it appeared to get dark from the top down.
Okay. Do you know the people in the house that it was hovering over?
Yes, sir.
Have you talked to them?
No. I haven't even told my husband.
Uh-huh. Okay.
For one thing, he doesn't like me to go out at night because he doesn't want me outside.
Right. Okay. Have you had any additional trouble with your eyes?
Well, that is true. I had some eye surgery performed on it in October.
Uh-huh.
And so when I first was looking at it, it's just that I had muscle surgery done to bring the eye back into focus.
Yes.
I thought, well, maybe that's why it's burning. It's because I had some eye surgery.
But have you had any trouble since this event?
No, sir.
Okay. How about the headaches?
No.
No problem. Okay. Have you
I just figured it was because it was so bright and that I had eye surgery.
Did you have any other unusual physical sensations while all this was going on?
No, just that it was, well, as I said, when I went in there and I heard a truck, but after everything else seemed to just not be there, I guess you would say. I never heard the trucks going on the overpass. I live only a mile and a half from Carswell Air Force Base, approximately a mile and a half from Carswell Air Force Base. I heard no planes, and yet I know that they fly back and forth all the time. I just didn't hear anything.
Okay.
It was just kind of peaceful and tranquil.
Seemed to be watched by this thing.
Well, gosh, I don't know if you'd say watched. It was just over it.
Right.
He is a captain in the Air Force.
Okay.
Is this, I mean, am I seeing things?
No, ma'am. As a matter of fact, I was on duty during the early AM hours about a week ago, and we got a call from another lady in Fort Worth who has described the identical thing that you've described.
Oh, I see.
Only this object was hovering over the home just next door to them.
I see.
So something is going on down there.
Well, I haven't said anything to anyone because, people have a tendency to kind of laugh at you.
Okay, would you be willing to talk to someone if we could get them into that area?
Yes.
We'd like to get a complete picture of exactly what went on.
All right.
Okay, where did you get our number?
Well, I had called the Fort Worth Police Department.
Okay. Well, we appreciate this report, and if we come up with any additional information on this, why, we'll be more than happy to get back to you and let you know.
Okay, thank you so much.
Thank you very much for calling.
Bye-bye.
Bye. Trooper Abrams, please.
Just a minute. Hello?
Yes, sir. This is the UFO Reporting Center in Seattle.
Yes, sir.
We're very interested to hear about your UFO experience.
Uh-huh. Well, I don't know what I can tell you that I haven't told everybody else about 50,000 times. What would you like to know first of all?
Just a description of what happened right from the beginning.
Okay. Well, I just finished arresting the subject and left the Caribou County Courthouse, which is in Soda Springs, and I pulled out onto the highway, which is US 30, and I went east. And I was still within the city limits, and I observed an object in the sky, which was bright, and what it reminded me of at the time was a landing light for an aircraft.
Yes.
Well, I got thinking that there was an airport right on the edge of town, but it was coming in at the wrong direction. So I proceeded on out of town, and about that time it started to flash on and off, and then as I got to the edge of town, it dropped. Went, well, not straight down, but it kind of at an angle, going into the foothills.
Yes.
And at that time, I thought that I'd had an aircraft that was going down. And I advised my office in Soda Springs that there was possibly an aircraft going down. And just as soon as I finished that transmission, there was a bright flash, like an explosion, which, more or less confirmed that that's what I did have going down. So I proceeded on up the area which is called Wood Canyon. I contacted my office in Pocatello and advised them to contact the FAA and see if they had any distress signals, which they reported that there wasn't any. I contacted the sheriff's office to call out the sheriff's posse and the sheriff. They sent out the sheriff. Well, he's a deputy sheriff at the time. They came up with a four-wheel drive, and we proceeded on up to the area. Roads were kind of snow-covered, a little bit slick. And we proceeded up to the top of the Wood Canyon area, where you can get at the top and you can turn around, more or less look over the whole area. And we figured we'd go up there and look for some kind of fire or smoke or something. And we got to the top and didn't observe anything. And he said that he would continue on up the road. And I told him, well, I'd have to turn around because my car couldn't make it in the snow. And I turned around and had gone back approximately, I guess it'd be about a half mile, 3/4 of a mile back down the road, going down a grade. And this is all a recreational area, and it's dirt-type roads, where you only have one lane and it's kind of narrow. And I was going down the grade, and I observed this object behind the trees. The trees are the quakey-type trees, kind of thick, or they stand kind of close together, kind of thick, I guess you'd say. And the object appeared to be behind them on the ground, and it just like it turned on light switch, and it just, when we passed, evidently we had to go past it the first time, but it wasn't lit up like it was this time.
Yes.
And it's kind of a luminous green color, like these luminous keychains, these plastic or polypropylene keychains.
Right.
And it sat there for a few minutes, and during this time I'm locking my brakes, trying to get stopped. It's slick. And I got to the bottom of the hill, and the object came above the trees. And I called to one of the other officers and advised him that this object was at my location. And about this, well, the whole thing took, I imagine it was in its presence for pretty close to a minute.
Uh-huh.
And during this time, the object moved away from me, going up the hillside. It wasn't wobbling, didn't make any noise, didn't hum. No apparent windows or seams for doors or anything. The object rose to the top of the hill, and then it sat there for a second. I called the officer. There was another officer that came up to assist. He'd gone up Trail Canyon. He was just on the other side of the hill. And I told him, I said, it's on your side, or coming your way, and you can't miss it, as big as a boxcar. Exaggeration, maybe. It wasn't quite as big as a boxcar, but it was 3 or 4 times the size of my patrol car.
Yes.
And the object moved down the side of the hill. It didn't lean
or tilt in any way like, say, an aircraft would, to make a turn or a bank. It just, just moved in a steady pattern. It moved down into a saddle and, saddle in between two hills, and then went over onto the trail canyon side. And the deputy sheriff came down to my location, and together we both went down to the base of Wood Canyon Road and then went over to Trail Canyon to see if we could see where the object had gone. And we didn't see anything. Another state police officer was coming up to assist me, and he was 8 or 9 miles away, and he observed an object headed north, which has been in the general direction of the object we saw.
Yes.
The object was, kind of appeared to be like a football, with the ends weren't so pointed like a football. They were kind of more or less rounded.
Yes.
It didn't interfere with my radio communications or anything. I don't know what it was. I know I've never seen something like that before.
Okay. What time did you see that start?
Well, I'm trying to recall. It had to be around midnight, maybe a little bit later.
Okay.
I'd have to look at my notes. Remember, it's been a while back.
Okay. Now, the color.
Mm-hmm.
Did it have a predominant color over the whole object?
Well, what it reminded me of, it kind of had it didn't put out light, but it was lighted. You know what I mean?
Yes.
It kind of had a halo, or not a halo, I'd say, just kind of like you take a diamond ring or something and kind of hold it in the sunlight, how it sparkles.
Right.
Well, shot out those little white spears of light, I guess you'd say.
Was that over the entire surface?
Right. It was all the way around it.
Okay. Did you or anyone else investigate the site where this thing appeared to be on the ground?
The same night, we couldn't get in that close because it's pretty rough going, crawling in the trees and what have you. We didn't see anything where something had sit down.
Right.
And the following day we went up there, and no evidence of anything had sit down. Evidently, it just sitting there above the ground.
Uh-huh.
But we didn't have any equipment where we could measure any radiation or anything to tell if there had been something in the area if it touched down.
Okay. Did you have any unusual physical sensations while this was taking place?
No, none whatsoever, other than being scared to death.
Uh-huh. Have you ever seen one of these before?
Well, I was in the service. I saw objects that, didn't look like this, but objects moving in the sky, when I was in the Navy.
Yes.
On the ship. We'd see objects. We had one object followed our ship for considerable distance when we were down around Panama.
Uh-huh.
And we never did find out what that was.
Well, then you felt that you were aware of the reality of these then before you saw this.
Oh, yeah. I definitely believe there's something out there, but I don't know exactly what.
Okay, now, when you saw that flash, which you interpreted as being an aircraft in trouble, did you hear any aerial concussions at the time?
No, none whatsoever.
Okay. Was that flash bright enough to actually light up the sky?
No, just like a star, I guess you could say it's like a star, all of a sudden the star gets brighter.
Right.
Maybe some cloud in front of it or something. That was the appearance, but it was quite bright.
Okay, then do you feel that you were actually seeing this or observing this object coming in, the same one that you saw apparently on the ground?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. How was the weather conditions or the sky conditions that night?
It had clear skies, maybe a few patchy clouds. Very cold. I imagine it was below zero.
Okay. Have you had any other strange experiences since this happened to you?
Well, no, I haven't had any at all. But we had a lot of sightings after I saw it.
Did the publicity seem to generate more?
No. This is including myself one night.
Uh-huh.
And myself and two other officers. And this was in the general vicinity of the one that we'd seen before.
Uh-huh.
But we never did get close to it.
Did it appear?
We went back up in the area. We saw the light, and it's moving back and forth.
Uh-huh.
and went back up in there, and it seemed like it just turned itself off, you know, like a light, you know, just flipped off. And we turned around, came back out of the area, and got back into Soda Springs, looked back up there, and it was back again, flashing on and off.
I see.
And, well, there's been, I imagine 4 or 5 other reports of people calling into the sheriff's office that there was objects in the sky.
Uh-huh. Okay, have you had quite a few calls from other organizations on this?
Oh, this place, other news media, it was kind of quiet for a while, and then all of a sudden, some newspaper picked up on the story in Pocatello, and they started the ball rolling, and I tell you, everybody in the world had to call me and talk to me.
Oh, I see.
Salt Lake City, San Francisco, local newspapers and radios,
Right.
and the Capitol called down wanting information. It about drove me crazy. UFO Central in Chicago, Illinois, contacted me. They contacted me about 4 or 5 times, for that matter.
Well, they put you right on the map, then.
Yeah.
Well, sir, we sure appreciate your talking to us, and I hope you keep our card handy in the event we see anything.
I've got it.
Good.
I just hope I never see another one of them. You know, I don't know. You know, a lot of things run through my head when I got out. I was out of the car looking at it, and I thought to myself, you know, I could shoot it. I had all kinds of weapons with me. Had guns and shotguns, and had a camera hanging on the doorknob, and I never once touched anything. I had a feeling that, you know, I wasn't terrified or felt like I should run, that I was being in danger.